Hello and welcome back to Quick Tips. Today I want to talk a little bit about reference images in Illustrator. And in the past, when I would use a reference image, I might drop in, let's say I needed to do an illustration of books, I would drop in a photo of books here and then start illustrating over it. Well, now when I talk about reference images, a lot of times I'm thinking more about AI. And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, we're going to start off today by just making a rectangle inside of my artboard here. And then I'm going to come over here and click on my selection tool. And when I do that, that brings up our little contextual window here, and it allows me to go ahead and hit generate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select generate. I want to set this to a scene. And then in here, I'm going to type scene of a college campus under an oxygen dome on a far off planet in outer space. It's going to go ahead and process that. And we get some different variations down here of that prompt. Now with this, let's say I'm trying to tie this into the look and feel of something else I'm doing. So going back to reference images, I might directly use those images underneath this and change them in the past, but now there's a much easier way of doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File and Place. And then what I'm going to do is I actually have a image here that I generated with Firefly that I'm using elsewhere. Let's say I'm doing a presentation and I want to use this image in another part, and I want to relate this illustration to this photograph here, or this AI generated image rather. And what I want to do is I want these to have a similar look and feel. Right now you can see they drastically feel different. Well, what I can do, I'm going to click back on my AI generated illustration. I'm going to come over here to a properties window. If you don't see that window, it's just window and then properties. I'm going to say pick styles from a reference. I'm going to choose my photo, and then it's going to take a moment to process. And it'll give me a little notification. Your selected style has been added to the style picker. Next up, I'm going to hit generate one more time. And it's going to generate a variation of this based off the reference image. So it's not that I'm going in and sampling the colors from it or trying to trace over it. It's making an image that's related and similar, but a little bit different. So again, if I was doing a presentation, you can see how the color schemes here and the styles are starting to match a little bit better. I can click through these, see some different versions, and let's say I like that one. You can see that these are tied together. Now that was with a raster image, a raster being a pixel-based image like this JPEG right here. Let's go in and place in an Illustrator file. So if I go to File, Place, I have a Adobe stock image here. I'm going to place that in. I'm just going to draw that out to the side. Doesn't have to be big, just a little reference image. And here you can see that I have some purples and pinks and things like that. Well, if I click back on this image, I'm going to come over here to reset the style. Then I'm going to say pick styles from reference again. Click on that illustration, wait for it to load, hit generate, and boom, we can see we now have variations that are based on the shape and the color of this illustration. So this is a very handy way to tie in your AI content to other content that you've already produced for posters or presentations. Keep in mind that this is not perfect, but it is a great way to make things relate to each other. Well, that's it for this week. Can't wait to see you next week for another quick tip.